Hey, what's up? John Sonnemes here. So I want to do a quick, maybe it won't be a quick video, but I want to talk about GDPR, which I believe is one of the dumbest regulations that has come out of the European Union. In my opinion, it is just plain going the wrong direction. It doesn't make any sense, right? So what is GDPR? Basically, it's a new law that's come out from the European Union that basically says that you have to opt in to any kind of data collection, that by default companies are not allowed to collect any kind of data about you, anything about your race or ethnicity or religion or all that kind of stuff that obviously Facebook and Google know about you. And you have to explicitly opt in, and even then you can delete the data anytime that you want and tell them you don't want them to store your data. Now, at a surface level, this seems like a really good idea, right? Hey, privacy, protection of my personal data. These big evil companies shouldn't be able to collect my data. But here's the thing. There's a couple of reasons why this is basically retarded, and I'll tell you why. The first one is this, which is basically that this is going the wrong direction. You should be responsible for your own data, right? I shouldn't have to, as a business, I shouldn't have to realize that that you need to protect your own personal data if you want it to be protected, right? If you volunteer information, I should be able to use that information, right? If you want to use my free service, sure, use my free service. Here's the price that you're paying for it. And the reason why that makes sense, and I'll tell you again, I'm going a little bit off tangent here, but basically it comes down to this, which is that the way that society is moving, the way that the technology wave is going, if you can imagine, is less and less privacy. Let's say that you're on the side of having more privacy. Most people probably are. It's fine, I don't care. But here's the thing. You have to really ask yourselves objectively, the answer to this question. Is technology moving closer to more privacy or away from it, right? So where is the technology wave taking us, right? Think about what we have going on now. Think about how much data collection that there is. Think about how many tools are out there and how many data points that we have. You can now literally record your entire life and every conversation everyone has with you, right? Again, now, is this legal in all places? It doesn't matter. What matters is the technology that enables this, okay? Think about drones and all of these things, right? It's gonna be very, very difficult to have privacy, right? And to not have your personal data be public, right? Just because of the public nature, because of phones everywhere, cameras everywhere, recording devices everywhere. So what I'm saying is that the technology wave is taking us that direction. And so what we need to do as people is prepare for this by not trying to fight it, because you're not going to win against technology, right? I'm not taking one side or the other, whether it's good or bad, okay? But what I'm saying is that if that's the way that technology is going, trying to fight that is ridiculous. Instead, what you should be doing is trying to figure out how to mitigate the damages caused by that, how to deal with an open world where a lot of what would have been personal or private data is public. How do we survive in that world? How do we operate in that world? And that's why things like GDPR, it's just dumb. It's just stupid because you're fighting something that you cannot fight. You know that you're going to lose that battle. It's just going to be impossible. And the reason why I bring this up, it's very much like the gun argument, which I don't care which side of the argument you fall on. But what I'm saying is that what happens with regulations like this, it makes it illegal to collect data on people. But guess what? The people who ignore that, we could say criminals in this case. I'm not going to call someone who collects data a fucking criminal. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, in that case, the people that choose to ignore it are going to have the advantage in the marketplace. They're still going to collect the data. They're still going to sell the data. They're still going to utilize that data because they don't care, right? The bigger companies, sure, they're going to get penalized and they're going to get hurt by this. But in general, it's silly because there's no way to really enforce this at the lower level, right? The people that are doing the kind of black hat stuff, they're going to continue to do it. They don't care. Like, you think spam is going to go down? You think people who are in a spam business are going to say, oh shit, GDPR, we better not send these spam emails anymore? The second aspect of this, why should you not be able to utilize data that you have been given? Why should you not? Why should you not be able to send people emails, marketing emails, if they've given you their email address, right? Why should you have to ask them specifically to consent to that? It doesn't make any sense. You're not causing any harm, right? You're sending an email. You're sending an advertisement. You're displaying an advertisement. It doesn't make any sense to restrict someone's freedom just to like prevent some people from getting some advertisements that they don't want, or to prevent some people who volunteer their data from having essentially what's the end result of that, getting some advertisements, right? You might say, well, you know, using someone else's data is infringing upon them. Not true, not true. It's not causing physical harm, it's not taking away their property, it's none of those things. And they volunteered that data. It's not like the data was stolen, right? That's a different issue, but they volunteered that data. When you go onto Facebook, okay, I mean, you have to be a pretty dumb motherfucker if you don't realize that when you post shit on there, you're giving the data to Facebook. When you type something into Google, whatever you type in there, that is going to Google, and you've given them that data. There's a reason why Google search is free, okay? There's a reason why Facebook is free. There's a reason why Twitter is free. There's a reason why all these pieces of these tools that we use every day are free, and the reason why is because they make money by advertising, by utilizing your data. This is no secret. This is no surprise. Google makes its money from ads. Facebook makes its money from ads. What do you think is going to happen when they can no longer do that? Do you think the service is going to continue to be free? You're making a trade-off. Well, yes, you're giving away some of your personal data. Yes, you're going to get advertised to, but you're getting a lot of free shit for that, right? And so that's the thing. It's like now it's kind of, I don't know where we're going to sit with this. Like, this doesn't make sense. Now, maybe this will turn out good. Maybe what will happen is that we'll have microtransactions and payments, and we'll just pay a little bit for these services and it'll be worth it. It might not, right? I mean, maybe now you'll pay like $2 a month to use Facebook, or every Google search that you do will cost you half a penny. Maybe that will be the case, and maybe that'll be worth it. I think when there's an economic incentive, it makes sense. But yeah, as far as GDPR is concerned, you know, it's been ridiculous too. How many spam fucking emails have you gotten from people complying with GDPR who are just fucking spamming the shit out of you? So technically, you can request from any company that they give you what data they have. Like, there's a bunch of questions you can ask them about what data they have on you, when they collected it, how long they intend to store it, why they feel like they have a legal right to it, what they would do if you asked to remove it. Like, there's this whole thing that you can send them. So you could basically blast the shit out of your competitors by making all these information requests and completely bogging down their entire process by doing that, right? And you're going to see this. You're going to see a ton of spam, you know, GDPR inquiries happening. You're going to see companies that are going to like do this for you to blast your fucking competitor. You're going to see all kinds of stuff like this where it's going to be used and abused just because it's ridiculous. And again, it comes down to this simple idea, this simple principle, which is why I'm so against something that seems like it would be good, right, to the consumer. As a company, I don't expect Google or Facebook to take responsibility for me, right? If I give them my data, that's my fucking fault. It's my problem. Now, if someone steals it from me, right, if they actually like hack into my computer and steal it from me, or, you know, illegally scan my license or credit card and steal data that way, fine, that's different, okay? That's theft. That's actual theft of the data. So we need to educate consumers on what they're doing when they're giving away their data. And that is consent. I mean, if you do that, that is consent. There doesn't need to be any additional consent in my mind. You need to protect yourself. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take ownership and responsibility for the shit that you do in your life, and not expect some government regulation to protect you or some business. But there you go. That's my opinion on it. And as far as GDPR compliance with anything I'm doing, I'm not going to fucking comply. I don't give a shit. So that's all I got to say about that. Click the subscribe button. Click the bell to make sure you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.